3 p.m. is usually earlier time than usual, but we will do that. Let's see who we got coming on. Stu, you made it. Finally, after much of an await. I don't know if you're talking though, because we can't hear you. We'll give it a few more minutes. But today I want to go over some alcohol stuff, because I know that was a bunch of stuff that was brought up. It's Easter weekend as well, so we'll cover that in a little bit, and then we'll go over how to get the people around us to also possibly get in shape without necessarily causing a lot of arguments, so you don't have to make the same mistakes that I made. So that one's coming from personal experience there, but I did talk with a bunch of you guys, so that's what I wanted to cover. Give it a few more. Sue, I don't know if you're talking because we can't hear you. I don't know if you can talk. Let us know.
Yes, I'm here.
There we go. How are things with you?
Not too bad. Made it today because Easter, no karate, so I'm
Nice.
here.
The kids are already off? They get tomorrow.
They choose to be off today, so.
Nice. John, how's it going?
Mic on? Yeah, no mic's on.
There you
go. Just driving home.
Are you coming in to work out later today? Or no?
I'm hoping to.
Okay. Keep us posted with that.
I'm hoping to. We'll see if I make it in.
You got a busy evening?
No, pretty open, but the gloomy weather is not really motivating.
You're the last person I expect to say that. Come on, buddy. You live 8 minutes away. You'll be fine.
Oh no, I got 2 more workouts to get in. It's debating if I'm coming in today, tomorrow, and Saturday, or if I'm coming tomorrow and Saturday. We'll see how it looks when I get home.
Yeah, keep me posted. Keep me posted. What time is it? 3 or 4. We'll give it 1 more minute and then we'll get started. Anyone got any crazy Easter plans? I know, Sue, you got a bunch of stuff going on, you said, right? A long weekend, I think.
Yes. Family get together.
Okay. We'll try to answer some of your questions at the end, because I'm sure a lot of people have stuff. John, anything coming up for you?
Just a regular weekend shenanigans.
So how it is every other weekend? Fair enough.
Yeah.
Vither, what about you? Anything for a long weekend?
Absolutely nothing.
Perfect. Sometimes you just need those.
Yeah.
You going to your parents or what?
Well, yeah, 2 days, at least the 2 days, and then there's catch up on some rest and some work that I need to complete for the second job. But other than that, mostly just rest and then actually start on the workout.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. You could definitely get onto that. That should be good. That's a good spot. I'll get right into it. It's 3:05. I have a little present. You know what? I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you guys. I got fucking AI to make me a presentation, but I don't even think I'm gonna go off the presentation because I don't really like how it looks. But we'll go off the top of the dome. So the first thing I want to cover was alcohol, right? Because I think that's one of the questions we got a bunch, and I still feel like it's a little bit misunderstood when it comes to how alcohol actually affects us with respects to fat loss or building muscle or health. Like I think we all know, point blank, first thing I'm gonna say is alcohol is not good for us, right? If we can try to avoid it as much as possible, if we can not drink it, it's gonna be the best thing. With that being said, I know it's part of the culture or social culture that some of us may be involved in. Enjoy it, we don't enjoy it. It's how we sort of relax. I do understand that part, right? But the big thing here is I don't want to sit here and preach about, oh, we shouldn't be drinking it. I just want you to get an understanding of what exactly it does to us, right? So with alcohol, I think the first thing to start with is the calories, right? Calories are made up of three things usually: protein, carbs, and fats. Those are the macronutrients, right? All those things have calories. The special thing about alcohol is that alcohol by itself, so 100% pure alcohol, has its own set of calories. It's not a protein, it's not a carb, it's not a fat. So that's why we call it empty calories, because it actually doesn't provide any nourishment or energy to our body. It just gives us extra calories that we have, right? So when we look at it from that perspective, I believe alcohol is 7 calories per gram. Fat per gram is 9 calories, which is why olive oils and butters and things like that usually a lot more. Protein is 4 calories per gram. Carbohydrates is 4 calories per gram as well. So alcohol is a little bit more. But the big thing with alcohol is that when we look at it from a fat loss perspective, alcohol causes fat burning to stop, right? Point blank. The reason it does that is because alcohol is considered like a poison by our body. So our body will literally stop burning everything else. We'll stop doing all things as effective as it needs to do, like building muscle, like burning fat, all those other processes. And it prioritizes getting rid of the alcohol in our body, right? So when that happens, even if we are in a calorie deficit, even if we have drank alcohol and we're still staying within our calorie deficit, right? Let's say you drank 1,200 calories worth of tequila and that's all you had for a day. You'd be in a calorie deficit, but fat loss would still stop because your body's trying to get rid of it. So when we do that, we slow down fat burning, we slow down recovery, and it's not necessarily a good position for us to be in, right? I think the other thing that typically people experience when we drink as well is our inhibition goes down, which essentially means our ability to make sound decisions, right? When that's in place, our hunger goes up, our appetite spikes. We make questionable decisions, to say the least, or more likely to make those questionable decisions when it comes to our hunger levels as well, when it comes to the food, right? That's why a lot of times when we have alcohol or drinks, we usually have some sort of appetizer or food that comes along with it. And it's a lot easier to overindulge on that, right? So the big thing that we want to understand is that alcohol can affect our hunger, it can affect decisions we make, and I don't think everyone here kind of understands that as well. The last part with alcohol as well, guys, is that our sleep quality drops. I know a lot of times we've been told, hey, like if I drink, I can sleep better, I knock out, I pass out like a light, but the quality of our sleep is actually a lot less. And that's kind of touches on the first point, because our body's trying to get rid of it. It doesn't really get to recover as much as it wants to, right? We have horrible quality sleep, our recovery drops, we have more cortisol, we have higher hunger, we have more stress the next day, because our body isn't in a position where when it doesn't have it, we're recovering as well as it needs to, right? So typically the next day gets messed up, maybe even the next 2 days, just depending on how hard things happen, right? So that's the big thing that we want to understand, is that there's multiple levels to this when it comes to how alcohol affects us, right? So yes, there's the calorie aspect of it. There's also the fat burning, the muscle recovery, the hunger. But I think most people don't feel 100% the next day, even if we've only had a little bit. And that's partly due to the sleep. That's partly due to our body still getting rid of it. With that being said, as much as I preach to you, I'm still going to go out and have a couple drinks here and there, right? So there are some best choices or best guidelines when we go about drinking, right? So number one is we want to stick to the lowest calorie options, right? Your spirits, your whiskeys, your tequilas, your vodkas, your gins, those are always going to be the best because it's a higher alcohol percentage. So it doesn't come with some of the carbs or the sugars or all those things with other drinks, right? Typically what happens is when we have the drinks, we are mixing in Coke, we are mixing in Sprites or this or that. It's a cocktail at the end of the day, right? With juice, with syrup, with all these different things, vodka, orange juice, this and that. That's where usually the problems start to kick in, is because yes, this tequila on its own might be 90 calories, or vodka on its own might be 90 calories per shot. But when we mix it with orange juice, now we've just added 100 calories of orange juice to this thing, right? Whereas we could have gotten the same effect without it. So really sticking to lower calorie options, being really mindful of the things that we drink along with it. So I always like to say diet soda when you can, soda water, maybe it's on ice, maybe it's with tonic water, whatever the case that might mean. Really cutting out a lot of the chase or the mixers with the additional calories. We can cut down on that, we're going to be in a much better spot calorie wise, right? So my go-to drinks are like typically a tequila soda or a vodka soda. It's a little bit more hydrating there as well. I've had people do Diet Coke and rum. I've had people do like Diet Sprite or Diet Cranberry with some vodka. Like those are all things that we can do. It's really about what it comes along with. Number two, when it comes to the drinks there as well, is wines and beers. They can be a little bit more calorie heavy. So just be mindful of that. Usually a light beer is going to put you in a better spot. I'm not sure how people sort of are fans of that, but that's an option that we can have. Beer is something that we want to have. But like the cocktails, the really heavy beers, sometimes the wines can really add up in calories. So be mindful of that. Number two, when it comes to drinking, my golden rule is 1 to 2 glasses of water for every drink I have. This way you are staying hydrated. Alcohol is also a diuretic, which essentially means it makes you pee a lot more. So your body's going to be losing a lot more water. So you want to make sure you're hydrating aggressively throughout. So 1 to 2 glasses of water for every drink that you have. Usually what I could do in here as well is I'll throw some salt or I'll throw some lime into that water, just so you're topping up on those electrolytes as well, right? The electrolytes are like salt, potassium, magnesium, all those things. Those get lost when you go to the bathroom, when you sweat, right? So let's say you're having a fun time at a party, you're drinking alcohol, you're going to be peeing a lot more, you'll probably be sweating because you're dancing. So because you're losing all that, I want to make sure you're hydrating constantly, especially before, during, and after, right? It's going to prevent a lot of hunger the next day because you're not going to be dehydrated. It's also going to put you in a much better spot when it comes to hangover as well. Rule number 3, when it comes to drinking there as well, is like eat protein before you drink. I think that's the best thing that we can do. Protein allows us to slow down a lot of that alcohol absorption. It reduces the hunger that we experience when we are eating. If we are eating after, right? So eating a bunch of protein, maybe even a little bit of carbs to help you digest that a little bit better. It's a good quality stuff. It's going to put us in a good spot. Just because I said carbs doesn't mean you want you to go grab the chips or the I don't know, whatever, the fries or whatever. Like, try to get some good quality stuff in before you do go to an event like that. That's going to put us in a good spot. One of my best practices, and I think you guys are going to sort of learn this or you've already incorporated this, is having a number of drinks that you plan on having in your head, putting that into MyFitnessPal. Usually if I go to an event and I plan on drinking, I might say, hey, like today I'm going to make sure I have like 5 drinks, no more, no less, or maybe it's 1 or 2, right? Just depending on whatever. I'll plug it into MyFitnessPal so I know what the game plan is. But that way, when I'm walking into the event, I'm saying, hey, I stuck with this. This is the goal that I have. This is what I'm going to stick at. Sometimes you don't stick to it, but we have a game plan. We're much more likely to be able to stick to that as we go forward, right? So those are typically the best things that we can do when we are having alcohol. We don't have to be perfect, but we do have to be smart about it, right? Planning the nights or planning the events ahead of time puts us in a good spot, whether it's with the food, it's with the drinks, what's going to happen. Being in a position where we are proactive instead of reactive is always going to put us in a good spot, right? Using your environment to the advantage. I think Jonathan has brought this up countless times, but for him, so people don't offer him drinks, he literally has soda water with the lime in it, and he walks around with a full glass in his hand, right? That way people don't bug him for stuff. People aren't saying, hey, come get a drink with me, whatever. He already has that there, right? So that's something where we can sort of use our environment to be in a better spot, especially in social situations where might get pressure. People might ask us, people say, hey, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Well, if you already have that, it makes it a lot easier there as well, right? Have your default order, know your drink, know your default drink that you're going to go to. I kind of mentioned stuff. If you guys need more suggestions, you guys can go there, but just make sure you have that and you're in a good spot. And then usually what I like to say is get a workout in the day before, the day of, or after. Have something planned out. I usually don't do anything the day after because I know I'm not going to feel too good, but I always try to work out that day or the day before. Some people, I tell them, hey, plan something out the next day so you know you don't go too crazy that day, right? That puts us in a good spot to be able to have those expectations, and we can make that more of a lifestyle choice as we go forward. Any questions with that side of things, guys? With the alcohol side of things? Yes, no, maybe so. John, anything you want to add to that?
No, not really. I think people know now, like, especially when I go to events, they don't even bother me. They're
Yeah.
more like, holy shit, how'd you lose all this weight? And I'll be like, I stopped drinking. They're like, oh shit, okay.
Fair enough. Yeah, once you do it enough times, then people just kind of get off your case on it too. So there is that balance that we have. I usually like to say, like, really pick and choose the events that we're going to have drinks at, because we drink every single time, every single week, or every single that. Like, it does blur the lines in terms of, hey, like, how much progress can we really see? So the more we can cut down on that, the better we're going to be. Sue, were there any questions?
No, I'm good. I'm always a spice rum and soda person. So
Soda water?
yeah, soda water.
I've never tried that. I will try that next time.
Oh yeah. With a squeeze of lime. Sorry.
Interesting. Were there anything with that? I know we talked about it, I think, earlier.
Yeah, no, nothing really.
Next part of this convo, this is actually a conversation I had with a couple people this week, so I figured I'd talk about it. But it's more so about getting the people we love on board with our fitness journey, right? Whether that's our partner, it's our family, it's our friends, the people in your environment matter. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've sort of realized, is that when we have a strong environment when it comes to our health and fitness, it makes things a lot easier. It makes things not just for them, but for yourself as well, right? If you're doing something together with someone and you guys are both on the same page with your health and fitness, it makes ordering food easier, it makes getting food easier, it makes it easier to get your steps in, to do all those different things, right? With that being said, people are people, right? And not everyone's gonna have the same goals as you, right? So sometimes it's like, I think the hardest part with it is, especially when you start to feel good, you want to get the other people around you to do something with you, right? So it's not necessarily putting them down for why they're not going to the gym or why they're not eating healthier, or like telling them like what they're doing is not working or it's a problem, right? And this is something that I'm a coach. I have this conversation with my mom all the time. It took me like 4 years to finally get my mom to even consider coming to the gym, let alone come and get a workout in, right? And you can't just keep telling them that they have a problem, that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's more so because when someone is told what to do, they're not going to do it, right? No one's going to change because someone told them something. They're going to change because they want them to do it, right? If you tell someone that they have a problem, you're going to make them more defensive. They're not going to be actually motivated to make that change, right? And I think the biggest thing that we have to understand is that just because you have a certain level of urgency, you have a certain sense of urgency, doesn't mean that person's going to have that as well, right? Everyone has their own timeline for doing this, for making those changes. And sometimes you can't accelerate that timeline. They have to come to that term, or they have to come to that realization themselves, right? So when we put pressure on someone, or we consistently put pressure for someone to do something that we don't want them to do, it's going to create resistance between you and them, right? And they're not going to want to do it because you keep pressuring them to do it, right? Whereas I think the other way to sort of go about it is invite them to do things that could be a possibility, right? I think this is where I have sort of shifted my mindset, and it depends on person to person as well, right? There's certain people that you can just kind of like, if you're close with them, if you have that sort of relationship with them, you can call them out and tell them, hey, like, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not eating the right way. You're not doing that. And most people are not like that, right? But I think the biggest thing that you can always do is lead by example, right? Before you have any conversation with someone, let your results do the talking. When people see that you're making the changes that you want to see, people get curious. Like John literally mentioned, hey, like people come up to him, they ask him, how'd you lose all the weight? How'd you do this? How'd you do that? John's down, what, like 70 plus pounds at this point? People ask him about stuff like that. Whereas I'm sure, John, if when you first started, if you told someone to track their calories and do their protein, are they going to listen to you?
No.
Probably not.
They'll
right?
start giving me advice.
Exactly. So now that he's done the work, because he led by example, he's in a position where people get curious. They want to know what's going on, right? And I think the next part after that isn't necessarily to make it an intervention. It's more so make it an invitation, right? Ask them, hey, you want to come work? Instead of telling someone, you need to work out, you need to eat this, you need to do this. It's not telling them that. It's, you want to come get a workout in together? Do you want to try coming to a gym with me? Do you want to do XYZ with me? Do you want to go to this healthier place that I got for food? You want to try meal prepping this food? Whatever the case that might mean. Make it an invitation. Let them put the ball in their court if they want to do it, right? But that shows someone, hey, like this person actually wants me to try something with them. Why not, right? Try to propose things that you can do with that person. So with my family, we used to do walks sometimes, but I said, hey, like, let's go for walks every single day. I tell my mom, like, let's go for walks every single day. With my girlfriend, it's, hey, let's go eat this instead of what we usually have. And then maybe we could have a sweet treat after if we fit our calories, right? Like, that's the type of stuff I'll invite her to do. Or maybe it's come get a workout in with me. Or with her, she doesn't really like working out. She'll work out here and there. I went and did yoga with her one time. I went and did her, like, cardio class. I'm not a fan of stuff like that, but I was like, yo, if it's going to keep me active, I'm not going to complain, but let me go do it with her, right? Because we're doing that, we're doing stuff together, it creates a bond, and it's like, oh, we kind of did that together, right? And that starts to become our thing. It's not necessarily going to be exactly what you want to do, but making that sort of change into inviting people to do the things that you are able to do together. It's ways that you can spend time with them. It's ways that they can start to also appreciate how they start to feel when they do things that help them out there. Right. And I think the last thing that I've understood here, and this is probably the biggest thing, is respecting people's timelines. You cannot want something more for someone else than you want for yourself. Right. The biggest thing I like to say here is, like, you want to plant the seed and you want to water it and let it grow. You can't force anything. My sister is a great example. I don't really talk to my sister much, but she's seen me get my steps in. She's seen me track my food. She's seen me go and work out. Now I see her out of nowhere. I see her tracking her food. I see her putting her calories in. I'm like, you never did that. Why are you doing that? But because I've done that and she's sort of seen the results, I think it definitely rubs off on people, right? They may never tell you that you are the reason for it, but when you start to do more of those things, you just got to plant the seed, let your results do the work, and continue to have those conversations, invite people to do things, and you'd be surprised with how far it can go. Just respect that timeline. Make sure everyone's on the same page when it comes to that, right? And I think the biggest thing here is, like, when it comes to actually saying things, right? It's not, like I said, it's not attacking someone. It's not saying, hey, you need to stop eating this and you need to do this. It's, I've been doing something that works really well for me, and I think you like it too, right? Would you be open to trying this workout? Would you be open to trying this chicken that we meal prep? Would you be open to going for a walk after dinner, whatever the case that might mean, right? That's the type of language, or that's the type of conversation that we want to start with, instead of pushing whatever you're doing down someone. You want to make it inviting at the end of the day. In terms of, like, maybe older people, or like parents, aunts, uncles, someone that sort of doesn't look at us as an authority source, I think the biggest thing to say there is just acknowledging that they haven't been educated or taught about the same things that we've been taught with. Like, it's not like, I tell my mom all the time, I'm like, yo, I know you and your parents, you guys didn't really work out, but I know this is helping me. I think it can help you with your knees, right? I know this helped this person in that same scenario. Hey, let's try this as well, right? Like, are you up for that? That way they start to get curious. And even if, like, my mom comes in my room and she does, like, crazy exercise, she'll just, like, clap her hands back and forth. She's like, the doctor told me to do this. I'm like, let's actually do something better, right? And it's just that little invitation. That's the type of stuff that we want to talk about there to actually get them to be more involved with that process. Any questions with that? Because I know I had a bunch of conversations. I don't know if you guys have anything like that in your lives, but any questions with that side of things? Crickets. Cool. Any questions with anything else I talked about? Or any questions that you guys have with your fitness side of things on your own? John, were you gonna say something? No. Sue, any questions on your end? Anything that's coming up with you? I know we got your Easter stuff. How can we help you navigate that?
I'm good. Thank you.
You know what you're doing this weekend? You know how to stay on track?
I think so. I'm still going to have some mashed potatoes, but I know how much I'm supposed to have, and gravy on the side, not on everything. Yeah.
Is there what's up? Is it just one get together? Is it multiple? Like, what does that look like for you?
Oh, it's one get together, but like a whole day thingy. So it's like a birthday party and Easter get together. So it's like the whole
That's on
fam bam.
Friday?
Sunday.
Sunday. Okay. When do you? I think you're already on pace to get your 4 workouts in. Yeah.
Yeah. One tomorrow and hopefully one more on Monday. I don't know, maybe Saturday. I don't know. We'll see.
I try to get them all in before. On that day that you have the birthday party and the other part of the Easter event at the end, can we get our steps in that day?
Oh yes, definitely.
That's one of the things I usually find challenging is when we go to a party or event or someone's house, we usually find ourselves sitting for most of the time, right? I don't know. That's ends up what happening with me. So I always try to get some extra movements in either early in the day or at the end of the day to really balance that out. And maybe you're hopefully the weather's nice. Maybe you're the person that after you guys have a meal, say, hey, you guys want to go on a little walk if the weather's nice. And usually a bunch of people are down to come there as well. So try to get the movements up on that day. So that way it kind of balances out the rest of the food there as well.
Sounds good.
And then make sure you take your protein or drink your protein or whatever before you head over there.
Yes, I'm going to do that. Thank you.
Is there anything, any questions on your end? I know we're just getting started with things. Anything that you want to go over? Any questions you've had over the past 24 hours?
Not at the moment, to be honest.
How's the food tracking going?
It's going. It's just thing is, it's certain foods. It's hard to find the stuff on FitnessPal, so to get the breakdown. So I'm just now recording recipes and saving it onto the thing or trying to build it. So
send over
that way
stuff that you're like I said, any unfamiliarity. Send over some pictures that way you can help you track it there too.
Okay, sounds good.
So that should be in a good spot. Steps wise, I know we didn't set a specific. I think we set 4K, right?
Yeah.
How do we feel about getting that? Is that seem pretty manageable?
Well, didn't really do it yesterday, but I'm trying to do it today.
Let's make sure we get on that for today. That's gonna be one of the biggest things that we can build up as we go forward. Cool.
Yeah, thanks.
John, what about you? What events do we have this week?
Just get-togethers, birthday parties, the usual.
How locked in can we be throughout all that?
As locked in as I can be. Well, I'll try my best. I try, but the fasting is really helping, so we'll see how I go through the weekend with that.
Okay. Do you have multiple events on one day too?
No, I think Saturday we're just going to be at my cousin's house in Scarborough, spending time with the kids, letting them do Easter activities.
Okay.
Obviously tomorrow's a holiday, but I'm on call all week, so who knows? I might not even be there. I might just be running around fixing shit.
Okay, cool. Keep me posted. If no one has any other questions, then we'll let us off early. Last call for questions. Perfect. If you guys don't have any questions, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Enjoy the rest of the long weekend. I am going to be sending a check-in text to everyone shortly. That way I can get you guys some feedback and some action items to head into next week. I know I said I won't be here. So if we can get that done all for tomorrow, we'll be in a good spot. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Me and Sid are here to take care of you. So we should be in a good spot. Cool.
Sounds good.
Take it easy, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Sure.